Hey guys, welcome back. We are out in the forest looking for this stuff. This is the stuff I found on day one, and what I'm doing is I'm collecting it and I'm marking the areas with torches just as a small visual indicator of where we can come back later on after we make a good metal tool and start trying to dig for decent cassiterite. My mouse is feeling a little laggy there. So we're just breaking rocks, throwing down torches. This is the two birds with one stone approach. That was not Cassie. That is Cassie. And by that I mean you really have two methods of getting your first chunks of minerals or ores. And they are... I'll tell you how to make torches. Why not? Throw a log in. Light it up. Throw a stick in. Torches. Simple as that. That's how we get torches. Just like that. I'm going to put some more eggs in to cook. Actually, you know what? If I'm not going to be attending it, I should put the mutton in so that at least I get a little bit more out of it when I come back later. So we're just running around. We're looking for these chunks of cassiterite or tin. We get tin from those. I've torched up a couple of the areas where I figure I found some earlier. And any place you see a torch, that's what's going on. And it looks like we are dehydrated again. We've got to go wiggle our toes in the water, get some fluid in us. Some life-giving fluid. I'll trim the lawn a little bit, pick up some seeds. I threw a lot of stuff away because there's a lot of stuff we don't need. Things like the extra wool and arrows and gunpowder and string and stuff like that. It all doesn't really have a purpose in Terrafirmacraft yet. So when I'm just starting out, I'm just going to keep my inventory clean of that kind of stuff. I chopped down the shack. That took almost a full day and night, if not more, to do because it really takes a long time to chop down a log. Even if it's not part of a whole tree, it takes just as long to chop one. Even though technically we're just moving it, not chopping it. Bottom line, takes forever. So if you have the opportunity, despite what people say about efficiency, use planks. So much easier to move planks afterwards, even though you only get like 0.75 plank blocks per log. You make up the time and the fact that you can spend the rest of your time actually chopping down trees and not chopping down logs that you foolishly use to build your first structure out of. So that's my little bit on logs versus planks. Okay, so we got the area marked out, and like I was saying, it's sort of a two birds, one stone approach. You got two ways you can get ore. The first way is to make a sluice system or some gold pans, which are basically bowls you can convert into gold pans, and then you can sift through gravel looking for bits of ore. But honestly, I have never found anything using a gold pan other than I don't know. Honestly, I've never found anything. I got a gem once, but I think that gem was actually from the block breaking and not from the actual gold pan. Anyway, the other option is the sluice system, which is you make a bunch of stuff like this, and for example, you would just dig in here. You know what? Let's make one. I'll show you how it works. I'm sure everybody and their little brother has a video about how sluices work, but we're going to do it anyway. You basically find the edge of water, and you just dig it until the water stops flowing, and then you dig two down, and then another one down there. And let's see if I have what it takes to make a sluice right now. I'll make another few planks. Like I said, 3 planks for a log. And I think the sluice was like this, was it? No, it might have been 3 planks and then 3 sticks. Perfect. That is a sluice. And we take our new sluice over. These things basically filter through gravel for you. You can filter through sand, but that only gets you gems, and gems right now are useless. Everybody's got a big old bucket of useless gems on their various maps because you don't want to throw them away because one day they might be useful, but right now they are useless. So next step is, well, I'll do both steps. I have a knife. Knife plus log equals bowls. Bowls plus nothing equals gold pan. So for now, I'll just go with the 1 gold pan. You can scoop a little bit of gravel into this, and you can dump it, or it must use under flowing water. This is the manual way to do it without a sluice. Pick it up, dump it. Pick it up, dump it. Pick it up, dump it. You can do this all day and night. But like I said, I don't think I've ever gotten anything from this process of picking it up and dumping it. Ever, ever, ever. And this is a cassiterite rich area, so you'd think I'd be getting some right now. So instead of doing that, you can also dump it into here. And you see it puts 7 in there, and it'll slowly process these and look for anything of value. But that too is useless. So away with you. What we're going to do, because gravel ain't expensive and it ain't rare, is we're just going to dig up a bunch of gravel. And this is all it takes to get your first couple of ingots. This is option 1. You grab some gravel. And you get up out of the water eventually. And you just throw some gravel onto the sluice. And you see each gravel gives you 20 pieces. So you put 2 gravel on there. If you throw a third one on there, you're going to lose half the chunk of gravel because it'll only hold 50, which is strange because, well, neither bowls nor gravel will fill this thing perfectly. 50 is a strange number for them to choose, but that's what they chose. So it's going to slowly sort through all of this garbage in here, and we're going to get bored to tears waiting for it. So instead of doing that, I'm going to show you option 2, which was running around, popping rocks out of the ground, and hoping you get a few mineral deposits. And collecting eggs, because eggs are delicious. Like I said, I've already picked up 12 pieces just because we happen to start in a decent area. And you need about 16 of them to get a full ingot. So I'm just going to take another quick poke around for some more rocks. So that's probably about it for what we're going to find on the surface. But 12 of these is a really good start. Means we'll have to spend far less time sitting around, twiddling our thumbs, throwing gravel. Whoa, was that another one? That was another one right there. We could have a really large cassiterite vein right under our feet. And that's what we're going to do. When we get the proper tools, I am just going to dig a hole straight down. Straight on down. And we're probably going to strike it rich with glorious, glorious tin. The stuff dreams are made of. What's wrong with you, rock? Get into my inventory. I give up. I'm not a very ambitious fella. That thing was too hard to get. Another one. Excellent. We have cassiterite. Nice, nice. This is going swimmingly. I'm going to grab a couple more pieces of this junk. You know what? Actually, instead of pausing the video, I'm just going to go... Carrots. Get in my inventory, you carrots. Oh, getting dark. Not going to put up with that again. You'll notice I didn't build a replacement hut. I'm in the area. There's no need for me. There we go. Get in the bed. Get in the bed. Get in the bed. There's no need for me to build a hut because as long as you get in bed, you're fine. And what you'll notice when you're playing is you'll build a house and you'll spend none of your time in it. Because really, what are you going to do? You're going to put a forge and a fire pit and a bloomery in your house? Not likely. Not at the start anyway, so you're going to spend all your time outside anyway. So just get used to sleeping under the stars. Okay, let's check out the sluice. There is a little graphical glitch with the sluice in that the number doesn't update unless you're there watching it. So if you left it with 37 pieces, it'll process those 37 pieces, but when you get back, it'll still say there's 37 pieces in it, even though it's done. Where did I leave that hunk of junk? I hate these things. They're slow. They're boring, and they can't be stored anywhere. Let's take a look at it. Nothing. See, it says 36 in there. There's not 36. When you throw 2 more fresh pieces on, you'll get the real count. It's just something about this number doesn't update unless you're watching it. So if it finishes when you're not watching it, there's no trigger to update the number. So that's going on there. You know what? Like I said, gravel's plentiful. Throw an extra one on the Barbie. And pick that one up. Let's go check and see if this one's like a siderite, and we will get started. You know what? You're going to need clay for this, so what we can do right now is go get a little bit more clay. Clay! You know, this is so common to see. Stupid drowning beasts. Drowning in the air. Did I pick that up? Yes. You will need ink sacs at some point, so if you get a chance, grab a few, like I am about to do right now. Die already. You squishy fish, you broke my javelin? Really? Purring, twang. You know that skeleton fight in the first episode? And I took damage right in the middle of telling you how they won't shoot through trees? What that was a little bit of blowback from the javelin. If you get a javelin to bounce back in your face, it doesn't always work, but it will damage you. So don't do it. No, Cassie. No, Cassie. No, Cassie. If I remember correctly, our clay was a little bit over in this direction. But I do not remember correctly, it would seem, unless there's another body of water over here. It just looks like water everywhere, and then you run up and it's, oh, actually a mountain. Wonderful mountain. Thanks for coming. Your water is in another castle. Are you water? I'll never tell. Dear diary, today I found the clay. So we need clay, and I'll show you what you need it for. Let's just hop on back. We got a bit of it now. Alright, here's what we need. Your crafting bench. Bango. These are, let me put that down, clay molds. 34 clay molds. And what we do with these is we throw them in a fire. We throw some logs on the fire. We light the fire, and then we sit on our butts and we wait. As we do with everything in this, I'm still going to call it a great game. There is a lot of waiting, there is a lot of plotting, but it's amazing. It's so satisfying for some strange reason. So these are going to heat up, and once they get to about dark red or something like that, they're going to plop down into here. This is useless. Never seen anything appear in here. Apparently it's supposed to be for like smelting byproducts. Never seen it happen. So anything you have in here can drop down into here, and that's where it's always going to go. Ignore this. Temperature gauge, fuel gauge, thingy that you need to do the fire thingy to gauge, and result of doing the fire thingy to this thingy spots. How's that for concise? Okay. Run around jumping. Let's check on our sleeves. Nothing. Plop plop. Throw those in there. Now what you can do is you can set up like a whole array of these guys and pull some stuff out of the ground pretty quickly, but they're more trouble than they're worth. I mean, I've gotten 14 of these things just running around punching rocks. What I'm going to do right now is... That was the worst throw ever. That sound I made, that was me trying to throw something impressively far, and it wound up falling out of my ass. Okay, chests. We will make some chest. Logs. Let's just convert the logs. We got plenty. And you'll notice again we're using TFC planks, not plank blocks. Couple of chests. We need some storage. Blah blah. Well, let's do a double right there. And we'll put a bunch of stuff that we don't need to carry around all the time in there. And a lot of this stuff, javelins won't go in. Axes won't go in. A knife is small enough to go in. But yeah, you do get a lot of stuff that will go in. Might as well keep the weapons here. Ink sacks we don't need right now. We don't need 2 stacks of torches on us. And we'll keep the Cassie safely in there. And is this guy cooked yet? It is cooked yet. And I put that in there because I'm smart. So we'll cook a couple of those. Won't need many for now. We're not rolling in ore yet. But soon, for the rest of our lives, we will be in the money. Still nothing. Go gadget sluice. You effective piece of wonderful technology. Boo-boo-doo. Grab a low. I should get some rocks out. Make another shovel. And I botched that one. Can I recover that somehow? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's make a hammerhead. This is how we make a hammerhead. A very squat hammerhead. That's what they used to call me in high school. No, they didn't. Nobody called me anything in high school. And bada boom. Now we've got a hammer. Ah! Darkness. Darkness falls. Okay. Dear Sleaze, have you found anything for me today? Nothing. And again, I mentioned the bug. It's just stopped, but it's actually done. More in there. And I was supposed to make a hammer. Not a hammer, a shovel. Big old sideways hammer. Sticks. Grab the sticks. It's weird doing all this stuff on the fly. It's not exactly the simplest of games to play. It's even less simple to play it, collect your thoughts, and talk about it. But I guess that's what makes a YouTuber a YouTuber. This is sluicing. Look at me go. Look at the entertainment value in this. Shoveling dirt. And throwing dirt on a thing. And waiting for the thing to make something out of the dirt. Here we go. Excitement, she wrote. Sleazy Sluicy. Oh, but you know what? We can get started. We've got a thingy. And by thingy, I mean a ceramic mold. We might as well start cooking up some of this stuff. And I'll cook it all up off camera, but I'll just show you. I'll show you. You know what? I burnt up all my logs because I was busy gallivanting around. But this is what these are for. See that? Yeah, 16 of them. Pow, 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 pow. Now you got to be careful with this. These things can get super hot and evaporate. Tin does not evaporate in this case. But bear in mind, you can't just walk away from these guys and, you know, half-arsedly come back and toss a new one in every once in a while. Because this will continue to heat up and all your ore will boil away. All your material will boil away if you let it get too hot. In this case, though, we are all right. Cassie doesn't evaporate. So you don't even need to kill the squid things because they always drop those bags anyway because they drown. They air drown. There we go. That one went in. I'll just watch this one. We'll just watch it warm up. Moment of peace and relaxation. I think these fellas go liquid. What we're doing is we're heating them until they turn into liquid. You can see this is very hot, unshaped tin liquid. And at about very hot, this will liquefy and drip into this. And you see our little durability meter will slowly fill up. And after we've thrown like 15, 16 pieces in there, that's what we'll get. So this is about to go. I'll just hover over it here. There it goes. And you fire another one in. Repeat until the end of time. Still nothing. Thanks for all your help. You're not going to make me make another one of these, are you? You are, aren't you? Ooh. Ooh. You know what? I'm jumpy. I'm jumpy. I heard a little crinkle and I was like, Creeper! Oh, God. You're a lucky one. I can smell the Cassie on you. No, you're not. Why would you embarrass me like that? I'm just trying to make a video here. Chickens will poop out a fresh egg every 5 minutes or so. Handy to keep them around. La la la. Time for another piece of Cassie in the fire. Time to check the sluice. And I will be back when we've got a nice full ingot. Because really, I got nothing to do to kill the time here. If I think of something, I'll hit that record button again. You know what? While we're waiting for this to happen, I mentioned in the first episode that this was a good thing to have right here. And that is because if you grab your hammer that we made and you right click on this, this only works with certain kinds of rock. I mentioned that dacite was an igneous rock, and that's the kind of rock you need to make a rudimentary anvil. So you right click on the top of it, it goes like that, and you right click it again. This is our anvil interface. We toss a hammer in here, and now, you know what? This will normally show a hammer icon. In fact, aha, there it is, little hammer icon. So yeah, what I was saying is this will only work with igneous types of rock. There's like sedimentary and what is it called? Metamorphic or something like that. But there's other kinds of rock, and none of those work as anvils because they are too soft. But we've got all this nice hard rock here. In your world, you're probably going to have to run around to find an appropriate type of rock to use, which is a real pain. And we're slowly cooking our cassiterite up, and we're still restocking our sluice, which has yet to yield anything. I'm going to set up another one of these going in slightly a different direction, see if that makes a difference. Okay, shoveled it out. Got our second sluice, our sluice goose over here. Same idea. You dig it out until the water stops flowing, and then you dig one block down. And then this is a place for the water at the bottom of the pool. This is the only way it'll work. In fact, if you don't do it right, the sluice won't even place. So you're facing this direction. Sluice. And we're going to dump some garble on it. Some gravel. And we're going to go check another one. Oh, no. Let's dump 2 more in there. 3 more. Come on. Come on. Good enough. And we got to get in the bed. Whew. And let's check on this one. We got one. Oh, I love these things. These are the most amazing things ever. No, they're not. They're still boring. But at least we got one. Back to the grind. I'll be back. We have an invader. This guy. In an area surrounded by Cassie, we've got sphalerite. Sphalerite is zinc. And it's in our sluice. But at least we got a hunk of zinc. 15 more of those, and we're golden. We're coming up to the end here. Let's watch this one. I'll fast forward. I gotta kill a chicken. Stop running. Stop running. What are you, some kind of chicken? Why are you running? I needed the feathers, you'll see. Are we done? Almost. Here we go. Yes. 1 tin, unshaped, full. Let's get this over to the anvil. We're about to make our very first whatever we want to make. Woo! Okay, we make an ingot first. Here's your directions. You gotta bang this thing into shape. Get this green arrow to line up with the red arrow. And the closer it is to the center of the red arrow, the better the job you've done. Doesn't really matter with ingots, but I'll do more of that later. Shrink, 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 shrink. It's still liquid. Okay, so once we've waited for that to not be liquid anymore, we fire it in there, and we bang this into an ingot using these directions here. Once it's in any of these slots, it'll stop cooling, and it needs to maintain a nice hot temperature for us to work with it. So get them in here as fast as possible so that they don't cool off. Otherwise, you'll have to put them back in the fire and stand around while they reheat. Let me check what time of day it is. Okay. So we follow these instructions. It's best just to always read them bottom to top. So our last 3 actions, in this case, because it's an ingot, hit, hit, hit. We'll cover that a little bit more when we actually need to make something. But the idea is you got to line up the green marker with the red marker. The closer you get to the middle of the red marker, the better the durability on the final product. But for an ingot, it does not matter. There we go. We've got our first ingot, and I will leave that there because although you might think it's time to make a pick, we still have more work to do because that's the kind of game this is. What you're going to need is paper. And what you're going to need is markings. And what you're going to need is a feather and some planks. Do I still have my axe on me? course I do, because you can't put it anywhere. Let's convert those. So we make one of these guys. This is called a scribing table. And this is how we draw up plans for anything we want to make. So there's the plan. Scribing table. Let's go put this right next to our anvil. And we'll use our markings to draw up the plan for... Well, let's see what this one is. This is probably a pick. You need to put the paper in. And you get a pickaxe head. And I think, what was the pro pick? I can't remember the pro pick plan, but I'll figure it out. You know what? It's probably just one more down. There it is. Prospector's pick. What's our time looking like? It's going to get dark soon. So in the morning, we will make our first tool. Look at that. We're getting copper nuggets and sphalerite and an exquisite useless jasper. That sluice is doing all right for a useless sluice that's not going to be of any use to us. Maybe these things need to be demoralized a little more often. Demoralize your sluices. They'll get results. Oh, goodness. Things are going to spawn. Get in the bed. That is a fire. Don't get in the fire. Number one rule of any MMO. Don't stand in the fire. Also applies to Terrafirmacraft. More sphalerite. Make up your mind, game. More sphalerite and more copper. Weird. This is genuinely kind of weird. We went from Cassie to... You know what? What's going on there is if you toss these too fast, they'll group up and then they won't go in. You got to throw them in one at a time. But we've got an ingot over here that needs a working. And here's how we do that. You got your hammer in there. Your hammer takes durability damage as you craft. So we'll start with the prospector's pick. Now you see our instructions are bend, draw, punch. And we need to again line this marker up with this marker. So these all move it to the right in different increments. Small, medium, large, and extra large. And the same for small, medium, large, and extra large, very extra large to the left. So you can also do little patterns that will rocket back and forth by like one at a time. Punch, bend, punch, bend. Each time you do that, it goes a little bit further to the left. So that's where I usually like to go. What we got to do is bend, draw, punch. Let's see if we can get a perfect one on camera just for you guys. Little rage outburst there. A little bit of excitement. A little bit of adrenaline. Okay, so here we go. We're back at the anvil. I just made a couple extra hammers and all that stuff so I can get ready because I'm probably going to break one trying to do this properly. Who wants to waste? And I've already pounded this ingot a couple of times just to get it over to the right. But let's do bend, draw, bend, bend, draw, bend. See how it's slowly inching to the left each time I do bend, draw, bend? I could probably do light hit and punch, but the reason I don't want to do that is because I just want to avoid hitting punch until I absolutely have to, just because I don't want to have this thing made before it needs to be. So I'm just going to keep doing, what was the last thing I did? Bend, draw, bend, bend, draw, bend, bend, draw, bend. We're just going to get it over to, it's about one more. And right here, and then we hit punch to finish it off. That should line it up perfectly and give us a perfect durability pro pick head. Oh, we made the tin pickaxe head first. Guess I put the wrong plan in. Either way, like I said, we're going to be making both of them. Now we have a damn pick. Perfect. Perfect tin pickaxe. I can do that every time. Day 403. Still trying to sluice a couple of nuggets. Ooh, still going. Got a race going. I've just got both of these in here so I can just drop the relevant metal in here and it'll go to the right spot. But the tin's winning so far. Okay. I've kind of gotten tired of waiting for the sluices. Look at the date. It is April 7th. It's almost May. The months are like 8 days long in this game, but it's probably been about 4 or 5 nights waiting for 5 sluices to deliver me the ore I need, and it's not happening. So I decided to go with what I said in the first place was a better plan. Just run around in the forest, breaking rocks, and I've already picked up 4 more of these guys. I just want to show you me getting a couple of these things and how easy they are to get when you're in the right area. You may run around and get 64 stacks of rocks, but you may find an area that's so rich with these things you'll never even need sluices ever, which is definitely a better way to go. There we go, another one. They're everywhere. Two more. Sluices eat a bag of, I don't know, something distasteful and vulgar. So it looks like we probably have a whole other cassiterite vein over on this side of the river, because there's no other explanation for there being this many hunks of this stuff just on the surface in the form of rocks. So we are all set. I think we may dig over there when we get our proper stuff made. Oh man, finally got enough tin with 8 pieces left over. 9 pieces actually. So now let's cobble together a perfect prospector's pick. After we make the ingot, of course. Shrink. What's going on? It's still liquid. Let it cool. Now it's cooled. Now it's no longer liquid. Shrink, shrink. Light, light, light. We've got a tin ingot and a pro pick head. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rock it back and forth until I can get this in alignment so that I can punch it and finish her off. Draw. Bend. Let's actually draw, bend, bend, draw, bend, 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 draw, bend, punch. It's like magic. How did he do that? I don't even know. I wasn't paying attention. I really wasn't. But yeah, you just nudge the damn thing back and forth until you get exactly what you want out of this crazy game. You get what you want and you take it. That's how it goes. All right, well, welcome to April 8th, everybody. What was it, about March 6th when I started? Thanks, sluices. We've all learned a lesson here. No matter what your situation, this is my advice to you, no matter what your situation is, rock-wise, you will find ore faster running around in random directions trying to find it in the form of rocks on the ground than you will ever get it using sluices, unless you've got 3 dozen sluices and an entire lake full of gravel to shovel up. I mean, look at this. This is all the gravel it took. That was all smooth lake bed. And we got nothing from those. So that's the lesson of the day. Tomorrow we will come back. And by tomorrow I mean after I get in this bed and come out. But for you guys, in the next episode, I will put these things to use and we will haul some fat loot out of the ground. I hope you're back to see me do it. And maybe have some fun. Maybe learn a couple of things. Who the heck knows? I don't know what I'm here for yet. But that's what's going to happen tomorrow. I bid you adieu. And see you next time.